everybody, so we've got a fun review today as we're discussing Blue Beetle. Regardless of the fact that DC has been pretty messy lately as far as the films and the characters, which of them even really matter going forward as James Gunn is reshaping the DCEU into the DCU, I still was pretty pumped for Blue Beetle. I've been a long-time fan of the character. I think the first I can remember liking the character a lot was back when he debuted in Smallville, and also some other stuff along the way too, like he appeared in Young Justice. As someone who is part Hispanic, Jaime Reyes is a character that is very important to me. I've already got plenty of stuff to support the film already. I got the Blue Beetle popcorn bucket. I even got a Blue Beetle shirt that I was going to wear for the review originally, but I realized that it was a 2X in kid size. It was $5, and I guess it was too good to be true. Still, nevertheless, James Gunn did claim that Blue Beetle is the first DCU character, so I was excited to see what exactly this origin story would entail. When an alien relic chooses Jaime Reyes to be its symbiotic host, it bestows him with a suit of armor capable of extraordinary and unpredictable powers, forever changing his destiny as he becomes the superhero Blue Beetle. Seeing as, in a sense, this is the beginning of the new DC universe, the success for Blue Beetle has a bit more riding on it compared to some of the more recent DC entries like Shazam! Fury of the Gods or The Flash. But if this introduction to the character is any indication of what's to come for the future of James Gunn's universe, this introduction to our first hero of the DCU is a blast. As a big fan of Blue Beetle, this perfectly captures the essence of what has made the character so special to a lot of people. Right from the very beginning of the film, it's bursting with heart and energy, witnessing Jaime come into his own and overcome adversity, thrust into becoming a hero when the Scarab does choose him. Of course, because this is an origin story, it does go through some familiar beats that you're used to in an origin story, witnessing Jaime adjust to the insane abilities the suit provides, some of which kind of delves into body horror a little bit, which was surprisingly gruesome. But what truly sets Blue Beetle apart, in my opinion, is the endearing story and the way that it revolves around Jaime and his family at its core. You can't help but love the Reyes family. They're all such fantastic characters. And witnessing the strength of this family, including Jaime, is something that I've loved so much about the story, as the Reyes family's bond adds deeper layers to the story, but also Ángel Manuel Soto deserves a lot of credit because I feel like he perfectly captures the essence of Latino culture at its core, all throughout the movie, not just in this aspect. One of the most awesome things about a character like Blue Beetle is you pretty much have practically endless possibilities as far as creating these crazy elaborate action set pieces, and they really knock those action sequences out of the park in the movie. There are many different action sequences in this that are just so amazingly entertaining and just get progressively more awesome as the film goes on due to the fact that Jaime gets a better idea on what his suit is capable of as he's taking on various different types of enemies in the film. Some of these moves he pulls off in these action set pieces remind me a lot of the video game Injustice. If you're not aware, Jaime Reyes is one of the characters in the second one, and they almost felt like they were ripped right out of the video game. These sequences also just look great. The VFX work is phenomenal in Blue Beetle. I think a large part of that is due to the fact that the suit that Jaime Reyes wears is actually a practical suit. Obviously, there's some CGI enhancements in post-production because he's spawning weapons out of thin air or changing his hands into cannons, but the overall just basic gist of the suit is a practical suit, so I think that does add to the realism of every time you see the suit on screen. The entire cast of Blue Beetle is phenomenal, but I think the major standout is the lead, someone that I've been a big fan of for many years, following him in Cobra Kai, Xolo Maridueña. I think he is perfect as Jaime Reyes. He expertly anchors this film. He's charismatic, endearing, and a true breath of fresh air, bringing this character to life onto the big screen and seeing him come into his own over the course of the film. With the material showcased in Blue Beetle, I honestly feel like he has the potential to be a next big breakout star, similar to how I felt about Tom Holland back when Captain America Civil War came out and he debuted as Spider-Man. Of course, Spider-Man is a much more popular character than a character like Blue Beetle, but it definitely feels similar in its execution and its tone. I would say roughly the tone overall of Blue Beetle reminded me a lot of the Ms. Marvel show, Spider-Man Homecoming, and hints of Iron Man. This Marvel mainly just because of the family dynamic and Jaime's connection to his family felt very similar to how Kamala was connected to her family in her series. The family dynamic in this, I think I had a little bit more fun with. I think also just due to the fact that the family at large is also extremely charming and hilarious. George Lopez is hilarious in this. Not all all of the jokes in the movie land. There are some that kind of cater a little bit too silly for my liking, but overall, the movie is pretty humorous, and a large part of that comical element I loved came from George Lopez's character. Even though I've never seen this actress before, Bruna Marquezine also was a major standout of this cast as Jenny Cord. As for the villains in Blue Beetle, I thought they were pretty solid as well. Susan Sarandon, I love me a good businesswoman, evil type character, and Susan Sarandon plays that role to a T. It was very fun to see Conrad Carapax in this, who provides the muscle, taking on Blue Beetle in some pretty awesome action sequences, set to some really cool synth score that they have going on in this. The score overall is a pretty cool one. One major thing that I found very refreshing about Blue Beetle is how overall it feels very standalone. It is an origin story that can stand on its own. It's not really trying to build up this shared universe connections or trying to throw in all of these uninteresting cameos that we didn't really need in the first place. There are still some references to other properties like Man of Steel or jokes about Batman, some of you've seen in the trailers. You very easily could jump into Blue Beetle without having watched the past decade or so of DCU films and still have a great time with it. But yeah, overall, Blue Beetle is a ton of fun. It's a fantastic introduction to the character in the DC universe. It's going to be very exciting to see where he pops up next in the future. We'll see where that leads because we have no idea at the moment what exactly the DC universe is really shaping up to be. All I know is I can't wait to see more of Jaime Reyes and his amazing family on screen. But now I've heard my thoughts on Blue Beetle. Make sure you share your thoughts down below once you get a chance to check out the film. Did you like Blue Beetle? Did you not like Blue Beetle? Share your thoughts down below in the comment section. It's part of the fun of having that conversation with you guys in the comment section down below. Thank you guys. As always, chat videos. I always do appreciate it. Make sure you like on the video and also subscribe to the channel to update reviews, reactions, unboxings, and more. Next time, I'll see you guys later.